State Farm.
Good job. Still running in the morning?
Yeah,
Getting your vegetables every day?
when I can.
Could have had a V8. 2 full servings of vegetables for only 50 delicious calories.
This weekend, Winter Storm Marcus brings yet another round of snow and cold to millions. Monday morning will be a mess. Get the weather story Monday on Wake Up with Alan AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 72 degrees under cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 60. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy in the morning, mostly cloudy with showers in the afternoon, high 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thrilled to have Jim Cantore on the show. He's been through like 80 tropical systems.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Watch Jim Cantore, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, weekday mornings at 7.
Welcome back into Weather Center Live as we focus in on Winter Storm Marcus, yet another one to impact us across parts of the Northeast. Seems like we've been talking winter storms forever here in the Northeast. Yeah, unfortunately, we've got another one to deal with. Right now, seeing some light snow showers here across parts of the Northeast, including in and around Boston. 29 degrees there, Bangor 3 degrees, and you are reporting some light snow at this hour. As we get in a little bit closer here, there's Boston. We've been showing you Mike Seidel there with some snow showers. That'll continue to work their way on through. Make it a bit of a lull in the action before we see more going throughout our days. So let's time it out. Here we are as we head through the rest of the afternoon. More of that snow that'll be impacting us. New York State Thruway, the Mass Pike, you'll be included. 95 corridor, you'll see it as well up through Maine into Massachusetts, sliding your way down through Connecticut, around the Hartford area. You'll see some snow showers as well. How much more do we have to deal with? Well, some of the bigger totals would include Albany. You've seen an inch so far, but look what's still to come. 8 to 12 inches of snow for totals that could be up around 1 foot to 1.5 feet. Kelly?
Alex, Portland, Maine is another city that's going to be targeted by Winter Storm Marcus, and that's where we find Keith Carson. Keith, you were just there covering a different storm before. Are people kind of blaming you for this or what?
Yeah, I'm going to get into that Cantore category where people don't want to see me at the airport soon. That's not where you want to be at. I'm joined this hour by Mike Bubinski, who's the Director of Public Services here. Mike, thanks, first of all, for coming out here and standing into this. Talk to me about where does Maine, Portland in particular, stand so far this winter with removing snow, the amount of snow they've had?
Well, yeah, we've had around 67 inches of snow since the beginning of our winter. And just prior to the blizzard of over a week ago, we had around 22 inches. So that storm alone brought just under 27 inches, and then we've had some other back-to-back storms. So right at 67, it's probably about 27 inches more than our normal at this time.
And you're trying to get snow out of the city. I'm seeing dump trucks. First of all, talk to me about getting snow out of the city and where you put it.
Yeah, it is a big job between our employees and our contractors that we hire to remove all the snow. We have a couple of locations in the city. We have a location right here in Bayside. Mm-hmm. We've also been creative and we've used the median, the large median along Franklin Street, and we also have a location adjacent to our airport, the Jetport.
Okay, so now, Portland, I was trying to tell people at home that although population is not a huge city, it's relatively dense, so you're dealing with some of the same problems that a Boston or even a New York would be, just on a slightly smaller scale.
Yeah, we absolutely are, and so we do things like parking bans, parking restrictions. We encourage the public to be very alert, particularly with heavy equipment moving around our narrow streets. Yeah. The great thing about our community, there's been a lot of compliance. The residents have really followed weather forecasts and parking restrictions and really have helped us in our cleanup efforts. So it's going well.
Now talk to me a little bit about budget, because I know when we when I lived here, we would blow our condo budget if it snowed too much. Do you have the same kind of problem here where you allot for X amount of snow and then each additional one, you start eating away at that?
We do.
Yeah.
We generally anticipate around 8 to 9 major blizzards a year and around 20, 22 smaller storms that require more salt and sand. Our budget's a little over $1 million a year. We monitor it. We're very careful with our resources.
Yeah.
But we also look at this function as a public safety role. And
Safety first, yeah.
That really is our critical feature. We want to make sure our streets are clear for public safety, for police and fire, and then sidewalks for our pedestrians.
Okay, thank you, Mike, very much for coming out. We appreciate the work that you do.
Thank you very much.
And Kelly, as I said, they got this handled down here. They got places to put the snow, and now it's just a matter of letting it fall over the next couple of days.
And just having some clam chowder, watching the snow come down. Keith Carson, thanks so much. We'll check back with you again a little bit later, especially as that radar becomes a little more active across the Northeast. But Alex, you're going to take us to the soggy west.
Yeah, it's the second Pacific storm this week, moving across the Northwest this morning. Rain falling on ground that just can't soak up any more water. Several communities are dealing with overflowing rivers that trapped people in their homes and cars.
We floated for a while and then got on high ground, and then we called 911 and had the fire department come out and they rescued us.
We're surrounded by it.
Well, parts of Northern California have seen almost a foot of rain since Thursday, and we've got more to come out there. So let's focus in on this sort of stormy pattern that we are in here in the West that at least is going to last through our Monday. Now, we've got some flood warnings that are in place for Northern California, even into Oregon, a couple of counties there. Then you can see some flash flood watches in place, including in and around Yosemite National Park. And one of the reasons why the culprit, well, look at this spinning here off the coast here in the Pacific. That's our storm system, which is going to work its way on in. Now, out ahead of it, we've got some wet weather that has now made its way ashore in and around the Bay Area. And there's some moderate to even some heavy rain that's being reported there. That'll continue to slide on here through our morning. In fact, let's time it out as we head on through our 8, 9, 10 o'clock hour. That spreads its way north and eastbound. We've got more rain in northern Cal spreading across Oregon into Washington. And then the big hulking system comes on in as we move into Monday afternoon. We should start to see high pressure build in late Monday into Tuesday, and that's when we think things will start to dry out. So tomorrow, wet up and down the 5. You'll see that activity. You could get into the parts of the Sierra, and that's where we may see a little bit of snow, but those snow levels are really, really high. The rainfall amounts out there generally going to be 1 to 2 inches, but there's some pockets. Those darker greens, 2 to 3 inches will be possible. And look at that yellow there just north and east of Sacramento, where we could see 3 to 5 inches of rain. But we need it in these areas, a very dry time out there. Any rain we can get, we will take. We just don't need it so fast. More on Winter Storm Marcus next.
I have the worst cold with this runny nose. I better take something.
Dayquil Cold and Flu doesn't treat your runny nose.
Seriously?
Alka-Seltzer Plus Cold and Cough fights your worst cold symptoms plus your runny nose.
Well, what a relief it is. Who wants pizza roll?
This game day, fun harder with Totino's Pizza Rolls.
While we may never know exactly what the weather has in store, one thing we do know is how to be ready for it. Rain-X Original Treatment repels rain, sleet, and snow. Rain-X wiper blades clear the windshield without streaking. Together, they give you the confidence to weather any kind of weather. Rain-X, outsmart the elements.
The Weather Channel celebrates Black History Month as only we can, telling the stories of African Americans who saw their world through weather, then changed the world for the better. This week, we sit down with Guy and Bluford.
Did you know that while you're going about your day, your immune system is fighting for you? Inside your body, your immune system is a tiny special ops team preparing for a highly coordinated mission. But sometimes it gets tough in there. So give your immune system our most powerful boost yet. New Airborne Dual Action. An awesome fusion of antioxidants. Plus new beta immune boosters clinically proven to boost your immune system. So get new Airborne Dual Action, our most powerful immune boost yet.
Maxwell's is now open in the Driftwood Plaza of Jupiter. Gold, silver, coins, diamonds, jewelry, paintings, and objects of art. If you don't want it or wear it, sell it to Maxwell's. We buy and sell diamonds of all sizes, clarity, and condition up to 10 carats in size and above. We have decades of experience buying and selling gold, coins, diamonds, and objects of art. Maxwell's, located in the Driftwood Plaza on US 1 in Jupiter, Florida.
The call and consultation are free.
Call 1-800-307-9899.
This weekend, Winter Storm Marcus brings yet another round of snow and cold to millions. Monday morning will be a mess. Get the weather story Monday on Wake Up with Alan AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 60. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy in the morning, mostly cloudy with showers in the afternoon. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Well, you know, snow is going to be a bit of a problem for drivers tonight and especially tomorrow as you head into work. Taking a live look now in New York and Boston. And, well, things aren't looking too bad. Boston looking a little troublesome there, a little more, particularly compared to the New York City area. But watch out for ice in New York. Expecting to get less than a tenth of an inch, but that could be more than enough, plus a couple of inches of snow on top of that. So we'll have to watch those areas very closely. Again, Winter Storm Marcus, that could lead to some travel troubles out there for you. Now, here we are as we time things out. There's your timestamp, Sunday right around 11 o'clock. We look at the Interstate 95 corridor, and we've got snow from Maine through Massachusetts, sliding away down towards the south. Now, Rhode Island gets in it here later today, and then we'll have to watch out. That southern portion of Connecticut where we maybe mixing a bit, even some freezing rain issues through the overnight hours into the early part of our Monday. It's all snow in Boston up towards Portland, but that's going to be the zone that we have to focus in on. It's just sort of the worst of the two evils when we talk about snow and ice. You'd much rather have to deal with snow than icing. Either one's bad, but the ice is really the problematic one. Interstate 90, we take you through our Sunday, and you can see New York State Thruway. You'll be dealing with the snow through the afternoon, spreading its way along the Mass Pike as well. Continuing through the afternoon hours here, we start to see most areas dealing with snow. There could be a little area here as you work your way towards the state line with Pennsylvania. That's where we get into more of that mix and some icing, but it's all snow. Syracuse to Albany, you've already seen your fair share of snow this winter, right? You have more to deal with here as we head on through our Monday morning, spreading towards Springfield, Massachusetts, and once again, Boston, one of those spots, going to be hit hard again. Kelly?
Alex, as a matter of fact, at least 49 flights in or out of Boston's Logan are canceled so far this morning. And joining me on the phone right now is Roy Strasser, the Vice President of Forecast Operations for WSI, part of the weather company. Thanks so much for joining us this morning, Roy.
Hi, Kelly.
So what exactly goes into a decision to just outright cancel a flight?
Well, there's a number of things that come into play, but you know, on a short list, it's understanding the type of precipitation that they're going to be dealing with, the intensity of that precipitation, and the timing of that precipitation. If they have all that information and it's forecasted well, they can make a better, more informed decision.
A lot of factors there. So how does WSI help the airlines make that decision?
Well, we understand, firstly, what the impacts are, so we know what to exactly look for. Just to give you an example, in New York, where there's going to be icing in the city, in the airports there, freezing rain is very problematic, but they can deal with it if it's not moderate or heavy freezing rain. So we will key in on those kind of factors. Or if there's ice pellets that mix with any kind of precipitation, that essentially is a no-go operation, and now the flights can't take off in that kind of situation. So we can key in on certain impacts that we understand very well. It's not just part of a generic forecast.
So then what happens if airlines decide not to cancel any flights?
Well, Well, yeah. I mean, cancellation is as bad as that is to a lot of the traveling public. It's actually far better because if it's a bad enough situation, you can have cancellations and diversions where you could have people ending up in airports they never intended to be in and be there at those locations in some cases, a day or two or so. So it's cancellations help keep everything under control, and and they can reroute if it's enough time. They could reroute passengers and freight and cargo and stuff ahead of time. So that's why it's a better way to go.
And then, of course, there's that worst-case scenario of shutting down the airport altogether, which we don't think will happen this time around. Roy Strasser, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
All right, Alex, over to you.
Well, snow has been coming down all morning in Boston. Our Mike Seidel, he's been there since the early hours, keeping an eye on things. And Mike, still snowing out there. I know you've seen the piles and piles add up and more to pile on.
4 inches so far. You can find the fresh snow because that comes off the top of the crusty old snow very easily. So we've got 4 inches. It's the dry stuff. Temperatures are in the upper 20s. We got a lot more to come, especially tonight and tomorrow, and that will further impact travel. We'll talk about that coming up here at the bottom of the hour. Guys?
All right, and stay with the Weather Channel all afternoon and evening long for the latest on Winter Storm Marcus at 12:30 Eastern, right after Weather Geeks. Our live coverage will continue, so stay with the Weather Channel to keep you informed on air and, of course, at our website, weather.com. And if you can safely take the pictures or video, we'd love to see that, too.
I have a cold with terrible chest congestion. Better take something.
Theraflu Severe Cold doesn't treat chest congestion.
Really?
New Alka-Seltzer Plus Day Powder rushes relief to your worst cold symptoms plus chest congestion.
Oh, what a relief it is.
Here we go! At Ancestry, we call it a hint. Simply type in a name and follow the Ancestry leaf far into your family's past. A past filled with stories that intrigue and inspire. And in doing so, reveal the one unique, improbable, and completely remarkable path that led to you. Discover your story. Start searching for free now at Ancestry.com.
Okay, here's the plan. You're going to want to turn right.
8.2 miles.
Good.
Watch the lane.
And we had this really great view.
Got a car in our blinds?
And we learned how to salsa dance. He was dancing.
Backseat drivers just met their match. Introducing the entirely new Sonata Sport.
You forgot to turn off the...
From Hyundai.
Get 0% APR and no payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Sonata. Only your local Hyundai dealer.
Thanks for the ride around Norfolk. And I just wanted to say Geico is proud to have served the military for over 75 years.
Roger that. Captain's waiting to give you a tour of the Wisconsin now.
Could have parked a little bit closer. It's going to be dark by the time I get there.
Geico, proudly serving the military for over 75 years.
Great, another wedding. Then I'm a bridesmaid in 3.
Oh.
It's okay. I've joined 14 online dating sites.
14? Is one of them eHarmony?
I don't have time for all those eHarmony questions.
Beth, do you want fast or forever? Only eHarmony.com takes the time to find you that perfect someone.
Another invite. Oh, and here's the dress.
eHarmony.com. Stop waiting. Start communicating for free today.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 71 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 76. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Tonight, cloudy intervals, slight chance of a rain shower, low 60. Winds south at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Monday, partly cloudy in the morning, mostly cloudy with showers in the afternoon. High 81. Chance of rain 40%. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This weekend, Winter Storm Marcus brings yet another round of snow and cold to millions. Monday morning will be a mess. Get the weather story Monday on Wake Up with Alan AMHQ.
Following two big stories this morning on Weather Center Live. Heavy rains causing floods from California to Washington State.
And the Northeast is preparing for yet another winter storm. Winter Storm Marcus, the fourth winter storm in just the last 3 weeks. Kelly Cass alongside Alex Wallace. The snow already coming down in Boston just a little bit, but we're expecting another foot, maybe another foot and a half.
That's another foot on top of what we've already seen. All right, well, our Mike Seidel, he is live in Boston where winter storm warnings are in effect. And Mike's one of those guys that loves all that snow. In fact, you can't even see the guy.
We see just your head.
I'm sorry, I was crouching down. I was crouching down. I was cheating. It just looks deeper when you do that. Okay, back to reality here. Back in Boston, we've had about 4 inches of snow so far, and I climb up here on the snow mountains that were created by the plows from, wow, gosh, look at this, from Juneau and Linus. Look at this. And the top layer is the 4 inches of fresh powder we've had today. They're doing a pretty good job of keeping ahead of it because it's not snowing particularly hard. Daylight, that's a helpful thing, even though it's still below freezing, 29 right now at Logan Airport. Issues on the trains the past couple weeks, and today the Red Line, they're busing you between JFK, UMass, and all the way to Braintree. All those stops, between those stops, are shut down because of this. Snowzilla is on the tracks. Snowzilla looks like a giant snow eater. It is. It's blowing and melting the snow. It's kind of like a Chinook wind on 4 wheels going down the tracks. So they're using that to get rid of some of the snow from the past couple weeks, and hopefully you won't have any major transportation problems tomorrow morning here in Boston. I seriously doubt it'll be as bad as Juneau was because it was snowing at 2 to 3 inches an hour. We had those, hellacious winds, and it's just going to be spread out over a long period of time, adding insult to injury. And we talked to MBTA about that.
I just want people to know we are trying to do everything that we possibly can, and whatever, I just can't focus on. I can't focus on negativity. I can't focus on that. We got to be focused on doing what we need to do.
That's right, no negativity out here in Boston. Boston strong. I can hear plows, I can hear blowers, and we got a long way to go. Another inch or two today, kind of lighter the snow this afternoon. Then tonight and tomorrow kicks in. 5 to 8 tonight, 5 to 8 Monday, another inch to 2 or 3 inches on Monday night. It wraps up by Tuesday morning, and then guys, the heads up is Thursday, late Thursday. Clipper, does it blow up right near the coast or not? Depends on how much snow we end up with. And guys, then it's the bitter cold, very cold weather coming in late week and next weekend.
All right, Mike, it's just, I love her positivity, right? She's thinking positive there. You gotta, when you have a situation like this, you don't know where to put the snow. Like I tell my kids when they're overwhelmed with homework, just do one question at a time. And in a situation like this, just do 1 inch at a time when you're shoveling out there, right? To keep up with it all.
Exactly. You'll be better off in the long run, right? All right, so let's talk about some of these alerts that are up. Winter storm warnings, those are up, dark shade of blue, but as you get into the southern areas here, Northeast PA, Northern Jersey, New York City, winter weather advisories. We don't want to let your guard down because you're under an advisory. Still potential issues mixing with even some icing potentially impacting.
And the ice can actually be worse as far as power outages go, and the wind is also going to be a concern for us too. But it's really the battle of the cold air and the warm air that's going to kind of creep in from the south aloft, and that's why it's such a tricky situation right across the Mid-Atlantic and New York City area.
Exactly. So what we'll have is that moisture riding up and over top of some of that cold air that is locked in place. We're seeing temperatures right now across parts of New England in the 60s. single digits. So there's plenty of cold air for those areas, and those are the spots, Kelly, that will stay all snow.
Yeah, we've got some thick snow for you. The Adirondacks, boy, the ski resorts, they're loving it. They're saying bring it on, right? Green Mountains of Vermont as well. Boston, maybe you're not so happy about the snowfall here. We've certainly seen a lot. Even Hartford, you're expected to see quite a bit of snow as well.
Yeah, and there's the radar showing you some of the early snow showers here. Light activity that's been moving its way across the Boston area, but notice starting to press its way offshore, so a bit of a little break.
Yeah, we're getting breaks here and there. It's not a steady snow, certainly nothing too heavy. And then once you get south of, say, this Pennsylvania Turnpike, we're talking rain for you. Speaking of rain, we're going to head to the west now, where we're looking at yet another round of big storms.
Yeah, the main risk there, flooding, possible rock and mudslides. NBC's Miguel Almaguer reports from Brennan, Washington.
30 miles outside of Seattle, this small town was battered for 3 days. As you can see here, roads were washed away, rivers are rushing, and now more wet weather is on the way.
First hammered by rain, then swamped in 3 feet of water. The community of Brennan is now caked in mud. The flood is receding, but the damage is not.
Each time we have one of these flood events, I need to get this silt off my driveway, or else it ends up in my house.
After flash flooding trapped 10 people here, this waterlogged region is expected to get even more rain today.
We're surrounded by it.
Small landslides have pushed mud onto roads and even forced Amtrak to suspend some service. The West whipped by the Pineapple Express.